My name is Thomas Daniel Queter, and I'm running for Senate in District 52. So I'm running because I care about everyone in my district. I don't want to chase special interests too much. I don't want to chase falsehoods. I don't want you to vote for me because I lied to you. I've spent many years reaching out to those who are failed by our government and lifting them up, finding solutions. I want to improve our communities. I may not work at a job for pay, but I work all day long, every day. I'm working to help those with disabilities who fall into these healthcare gaps that are created left and right. And that includes the elderly, our veterans, and everyone sooner or later. I want you to vote for me because you believe that I want to help our district be more self-sufficient. I want you to vote for me because I want to do something productive. I've been fighting my entire life, and I will fight for you. I will fight for your economy, your stability, your health care, and I will fight for those instances in life in which you need help. I am not in this for myself. I'm in this for you. And everyone I talk to on a regular basis, every time I reach out, I find somebody who's suffering either from lack of health care, lack of coverage for health care. Help me help District 52 become what it once was, a thriving agricultural district. Help me bring back what we need. We need to seek innovation. We need to seek better options. If you believe I want to help, if you believe that I will help, if you believe that I will work hard, if you believe that we need somebody who can put in 16, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, as I've been doing for most of my life, then vote for me for Senate in District 52, Broome, Tioga, Shenango, and Delaware. Vote for Tom. Vote for freedom. Vote for our economy. Vote for health care that works. And vote for systems for those with disabilities that actually help them instead of just hurting the taxpayer. Go to tomfor52.com. Consider making a donation. Reach out for a yard sign. Reach out for some media. Volunteer. Give us a hand. I appreciate any support you're willing to give because I care about my community. I care about our communities. And we need to allow our communities the freedom to care about themselves and each other. Thank you for your support.
Hello, everyone. Robert Murray here with Inspire Nation. You know where you're at. Thank you for joining us for another rundown with Thomas Queter. We love you, Thomas. How's it going this week?
It's going good, actually.
Perfect.
Everybody's probably noticing the banner at the top. Wheelchair bans from Liberty Meme fans. You'll all remember from a previous episode we discussed how a group of people who thrive on memes raised enough money to replace my accessible van within 23 hours. They've gone forward to create a separate group just for accessible vehicles and similar needs. I think we're up to 10 or 12, somewhere in there. The last one we have on the plate right now is for Manny. We're talking about Manny. Manny has multiple disabilities. He's a child. His family is struggling to get him to his doctor's appointments and around, let alone enrichment. And we think of an accessible van, oh, well, that's for a disabled person. That's so they can do things. Well, it's more than that. It's also for their families. When we provide these needs for an individual who has a disability, their nearest loved ones who are struggling to care for them get some relief. My family is relieved that I can now go to the hospital if I need to, or that I can get out and see the world once in a while, that I can run for office. Manny's family will benefit from greatly reduced struggle to get him to all of his appointments and other daily needs. This is bigger than one person when we do this, because I'm use myself as an example, right? There's me. Van helps me tremendously. There's no arguing that. But my mother feels better now. My brother feels better now. They're less stressed. It's easier for them to take me places. It's easier for any of my acquaintances to take me somewhere. It's easier for me to go places because of that van, which makes my family and my friends more involved with me more involved with my community. And that's how you see things like this happen. They're all community-driven efforts. And Manny's current fundraiser is, I believe it was less than $4,000 away from the goal. It was 3,000 something. 4 or 5,000 had been raised in the last few days. That's amazing. So if you're seeing this, there's a link in the text for this group where you can find these fundraisers. Manny is the current one, and we are trying to help Manny. Go there, help Manny. But this is a GoFundMe. Robert, you want to tell us why the GoFundMe platform is a controversy right now?
Well, yeah, there's there was we all know about the convoy in Canada, and there was a fundraising event with GoFundMe where there was $10 million in the account, and it had to be released. They deplatformed GoFundMe, and so yeah, there's definitely a controversy on that. Crazy.
Right. So what happened was governments didn't like that money was being raised for a cause that governments didn't like, and this company, GoFundMe, came under pressure from the government. And in that case, in my opinion, that company is defending itself by going along with the threats from the government. That's sad. It's wrong. None of us agree with it. Particularly as libertarians, we tend to stand in defiance, and we think that corporations like GoFundMe should stand in defiance, and I agree. But they didn't, and that's their right. It's unfortunate. There are other platforms. There are other platforms. We can use other platforms to raise money. We can keep doing the good we're doing. And one thing that GoFundMe did show us over these last couple decades, or however long they've been in business, is that there's a lot of need out there. The minute people were given the opportunity to express their need and ask for help, GoFundMe blew up. And then they weren't the only platform. And then there was this platform and that platform and another platform. That just shows you how much need is out there and how much we can do. Now, what does it take to help people? What does it really take to help people? You'd be surprised how little it actually takes. I'm going to assume that some of the people watching really like memes because they're on social media, and that's where this is broadcasting. Most people on social media like memes. This group uses memes, funny memes, clever memes, pertinent memes, even memes that don't apply, to bolster the link to a fundraising platform such as GoFundMe, although in these groups we're going to go somewhere else now. And that is our right, right? It's GoFundMe's right to deplatform that fundraiser, and it's our right to not support GoFundMe. And that's where it's at. Stop supporting GoFundMe. Now, this is just a group of people on the internet who check in once a day, once a week, once a month. They like, they share, they comment. An awful lot of them donate. But that's a marketing force. Once you have a marketing force, and this one's voluntary in particular, then you have some traction. And that's how we get these fundraisers done in as little as a day. That's how we continue to raise money for more and more and more people in need. David, he discovered that I was actually the third accessible van, and that's why he created the wheelchair vans from Liberty Memes fans group. Just think about that. You have no idea how much good this group is doing. Every individual's family, every individual's community, they're all improved when we help them. So go to this group. If you're on Facebook, if you have the Facebook account, go to this group, join it. You don't have to donate. You can like, you can comment, you can share, you can help us beat the algorithms of Facebook by making sure people see these links and understand the need that's out there and actually pay it forward, as it were, right? Remember that movie? Pay it forward.
Yes, love that movie.
They do good for somebody else. I've always loved that concept. And that's what this is. Everybody's paying it forward. I personally have another initiative. I work with a nonprofit, and I volunteer with them. I'm on the board of another nonprofit, but the one I'm talking about is the New York Volunteer Network. And we can give tax deductible receipts for donations. So if you're paying in on your income taxes, you can donate 30% of what you owe in your income taxes and write that off. That's you choosing where your taxes go. If you don't want your taxes to go towards boondoggle projects committed by the state, or war on foreign ground that we don't need to be involved in, or if you just don't want it to pay for, I don't know, what's the most ridiculous thing the government has paid for? Getting quail pie cocaine, that was one. Giving LSD to dolphins, that was another thing the government paid for. Instead of paying for these kinds of things, you can choose to pay for something that somebody needs in your own country, in your own state, in your own town, or not. Maybe they're somewhere else. Maybe it's just somebody you care about. Maybe it's a situation you identify with. And that's volunteerism in action. That's how you were the solution because you were the power. You're using your power for that good. Robert, what's your take on all of this? I know you live in a small community. People help each other out a lot.
Well, when it comes to monetary help here in the community, it's not quite so much as more of a barter type of a help system. Right now, I'm dealing with the state DOT plowing the road and pushing the snow into my driveway, and it's making it very difficult for me to, I have to go and shovel it every day. And it's not, I don't really know the legality on it, but yeah, so I don't really have a lot when it comes to the funding as far as money. I do have a problem with community funded things like the community well. I do believe that there's a misappropriation of funds there. But of course, I'm still kind of investigating that, and that's not for sure. I live very rural.
In a voluntary situation, there would be no way to corrupt that, right? That money wouldn't be misappropriated.
That's right.
Somebody would come together with somebody else and come up with the money that's necessary when it's needed and do the thing.
Exactly.
Voluntary action does not have to be monetary. Just like I was talking about with these groups, you can come in and you can be a huge help just by sharing the posts, just by making memes, just by commenting on them. And when you share a post, make sure you read about the fundraiser that you're supporting and have an understanding, and write a sentence or two. Really put a personal touch on it. David, how's it going?
We love you, David.
David, we got to have you on in a couple of weeks.
James, how you doing, James?
Jimmy,
we love you too, buddy. He's been on our show a couple times.
So
I gotta.
So back to my point, you don't have to donate to really do good in the world. You can support a cause by doing the work. On social media, it's so easy. You share a post, you write a comment, you make a meme, and you make sure the link is in there. And it works. It's so easy. It's fun. You should see these groups. These people are having a blast doing it. They're not just like dedicated to save the world, which they are as well, but they're also just having a good time. Imagine if you could save the world one little piece at a time by having
Let's do
fun.
it. I love it.
And you know, that's really what's necessary. We need to wake up this entire country. We need to remind people that we used to do everything ourselves. And with today's technology and the way things have advanced, it's even easier for us to do things for ourselves. Yes.
Likes, shares, comments, post, invites, even sending a cause to your email list or church prayer list or talking to coworkers about it. It all makes a difference. Absolutely, David. Thank you so much.
So a lot of people don't realize I was crowdfunding long before I was libertarian, long before I knew David and knew about this group, years and years before. And one thing that I always like to tell people, you know, if you don't have $10 to donate, you probably have a group of friends you hang out with once a week. Most people who drink, you know, they get together on Friday night or Saturday night or around the football game on Sunday with 5 or 50 of their friends, and they just have fun. Well, what if at one of those events, I don't know, maybe it's not drinking and football. Maybe you like to crochet with little old church ladies. It doesn't matter. You have a group of people. You whip out your phone. You look at the latest cause, and you say, "Hey guys, look at this. Now, I can't afford to donate this, but can we pool together? Maybe we can all put $5 in. You know, and with 10 people, that's $50. So you can pool people in person to make that donation. You could bring this up, as David just mentioned, at the office to generate funds to make a donation. Yes.
Yep.
Talk to coworkers.
The church. Yep. Email list. Absolutely.
You know, and if you come across a cause that's a little more personal to you, let's say it's my cause. I have osteogenesis imperfecta. That's my condition. Perhaps you had someone in your life with osteogenesis imperfecta. Maybe it was a child, maybe it was a sibling, maybe it was a friend at school. But that lends you to know a little bit more about the condition. Then you have a little bit more that you can say about the situation when you share. Those personal touches make a huge difference. But I think the biggest message that people need to start taking home is they're the solution. You know, Spike Cohen, he goes around and he tells everybody, you are the power, you are the power, you are the power. Why are you the power? How are you the power? Well, because you're the solution. You can do the work. You can do the thing. You can make a meme. You can fill a pothole. You can mow your neighbor's lawn. It doesn't matter what it is. I want to see this grow. The wheelchair fans from Liberty Memes fans group, last I checked, only had 4,800 members. 4,800 people are doing this in their free time for fun. What are you doing in your free time for fun? Is it this constructive? Does it have this much benefit to the world? Do you need all of that time for that kind of fun? Or can you put a little bit towards helping your neighbor and have a little fun? Robert, I'd like to hear your opinions on this whole concept of expressing a need and having strangers fund it from out of nowhere.
Yeah, so this is something I'm getting used to, because asking for help is kind of interesting for me. But since I've been doing this with libertarians and seeing the effect of it and seeing how much people actually want to help, being vulnerable and reaching out and asking for help, or at least letting people know what your needs are, it gives people that natural ability of nurturing. It allows them to flex that and get involved and feel like that their time and their money is going to exactly what they want it to. When you give money, you pay your taxes or whatever, you don't really, we're supposed to be able to know what that money goes to. But lately it's just been like, you give the money and they want more. And then they're using that money to mandate and control and overpower. And so, yes, I love the fact that if we can create safe spaces where people can be vulnerable and at least express what they need, is extremely powerful, much more powerful than government aid.
And you know what? There's one key thing about needs. if you don't ask for it, you don't get it.
That's right.
And that's why I love the Libertarian Party. They make me feel comfortable asking
Yep.
for what I need. Just under 3 years ago, 2019.
They're very welcoming.
In
The
June.
Libertarian Party.
Yep, just under 3 years ago, Libertarians convinced me to allow them to crowdfund the wheelchair I'm sitting in right now. And that has skyrocketed my life. I now have a national presence. People know me in this party nationwide. I have connections that I can utilize to go forward in life. When my wheelchair broke down the other week, as you guys saw on this live feed, a friend of ours, Matt Lacey, came and fixed it. He's watching right now, I bet.
Matt, love you, Matt.
That's amazing. A repair like that through government systems takes months and months and an amazing amount of money on the taxpayer's dime. Whereas Matt, I don't know how much he spent to drive out here and stay for the weekend. But other than that, I don't think he really had too much into the repair. But the way the systems are set up, that would have been a lot of money. Doing it ourselves is cheaper, faster, and warrants better results.
You have two. You have a backup chair, and last time you were on live, you showed us a switch. You were able to pop from one to the other really easily. Great chairs.
I just switched chairs, actually. This is an interesting. I feel spoiled, Robert. I feel spoiled.
You put a lot of work into it, Thomas.
Well, when you have a power chair and you're dependent on it for mobility, I can't even get to the bathroom without my power chair. I can't cross the room to get the TV remote without my power chair, let alone get out the door and actually do things. Power chairs, believe it or not, they run on power. And that power is stored in batteries, and those batteries die, and those batteries need to be charged. In my case, because I'm an active user, I have to charge my batteries every single night. And it's 4 to 8 hours to charge, depending on how much of the battery I've used. Usually it's closer to 8 with me. Matt can tell you why. He saw the hours counter on my old chair.
How many hours was on that thing?
It should have been just under 2,000 by the average high heavy used user, and I was over 3,300.
Jesus, Thomas, you move around a lot.
Yeah, so I did about 50% better than most people. So I am stuck sitting here on a charger for between 4 and 8 hours every single night, and with this one in particular, the plug-in is hard to reach. I have to turn around in the seat, lean down. I'm almost touching the floor in my hand to plug it in. Yep, 3,300.
Thanks for watching, Matt.
And that's a little dangerous for one to do like quick. If you wake up groggy, let alone if you're jostled awake or startled awake. Let's say the house is on fire, right? If I wake up in the middle of the night, the house is on fire, and I got to move quick. There is no moving quick to unplug this. It's just not possible. And it's a security hazard. Dylan.
Dylan, thanks for coming in. If you guys are joining us, say hi in the comments, please.
And follow my page. Follow my page.
That's right. So the scrolling across the bottom here also is that group, and then there's a wheelchair vans for liberty means. And if you want a clickable link, you could either click in the comments here or the post on Facebook. It's a clickable link there. So check it out, you guys. Like, share, and comment, please.
That's an excellent point, Matt. If I'm moving, I'm working. It may not be for a job that pays me with a paycheck so the government can steal a third of it, but I'm always working. I consider my life to be work. I want things in front of me to do. This right now is work to me. And it's good work because we're spreading the message of volunteerism, voluntary, however you want to put it. It is that people are choosing to help people. No one's forcing them. No one's threatening them with jail time or a fine or interest or with a gun. None of that's happening. Everybody's just saying, hey, That's a thing that needs to get done. And I got $5. I can help do that thing. And then we do the thing. And that's how you are the solution, because you've got that $5 or you've got that magic finger. You know, you can hit that like, you can hit share, you can type a comment. You can do all of these things, and they all help. Do not underestimate the value of your interaction on these posts when we're trying to raise money for a good cause. It is necessary. If you just stop by and say, I support this on every cause in that group, you're doing a hell of a thing. It's bumping up the algorithms. Your friends are going to see that you commented. Other people are going to see that you supported this. They're going to want to know why you're supporting this. They're going to look more into it. All of these things help. And that's how, look, if you're watching this right now, then you can share this with the link to Manny's GoFundMe. You can share this with the link to the wheelchair vans from Liberty Memes fans. I promise I'm going to start to get these names right, David. I screw up the name on the other one all the time. Wheelchair vans from Liberty Memes fans. Wheelchair vans from Liberty Memes fans. Wheelchair vans from Liberty Memes fans. See?
Wheelchair vans for Liberty Memes fans.
That's right. And that's just one group, right? That's just wheelchair vans. David, if you're watching, tell us, what other kinds of things have you raised money for with your original group? I know you did surgeries. I know you replaced vehicles.
Thank you for your donation.
Yes, Dylan. That is the way it works. There was somebody on Manny's fundraiser yesterday or this morning. She donated 3 times in a row just because she wanted to state that she donated 3 times in a row.
We love you. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, we are very close to 11,000 out of the $14,000 goal for Manny. If anybody's got some money, go to this group, find the link for Manny.
It's in the comments. It's in the post.
Oh, it is in the comments of the post. Good. Donate to Manny. I'm not asking. I'm a politician asking you to give somebody else money. Come on, people. I'm
a politician? Wait, a politician now? I'm confused.
Yes. Other people think I am. I run for office. I don't know if that makes me a politician or not. I consider myself not a politician, and I like to run on not being a politician, especially by the optics of today's politicians, right? Do I really want to be associated with those people? Yeah. Would you?
I don't know. Well, I chose to be associated with you, and that's about as far as I'm going in politics.
Right. I mean, do you want your face permanently emblazoned in the psyche of history, right between Joe Biden and Donald Trump?
Oh God. Yeah, because I don't want to be in that bundle.
Right. I'd rather have my face on a video in the group Wheelchair Vans from Liberty Memes fans, because
Got that right.
That's far more spectacular. You guys are great. You're better than any president that ever lived, because you're actually out there. You're actually doing the work. You're actually helping people. Everybody in these groups is amazing. And I want to encourage anybody who's not in these groups to get in them. You can do so much good with just a little time. Not even much. 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day, and you're going to help all of these causes.
That's nothing.
You know, this is online fundraising. This is online volunteerism. This is remotely, right? We can reach all the way to California or Hong Kong or Russia if we wanted to with this. And I imagine sometimes we probably do. I believe I saw at least one fundraiser for somebody in the UK. Now, that's volunteerism on the internet. That's crowdfunding volunteerism. Think about your community. I want everybody watching to think about your community. What are the things that are unaddressed? Are there a handful of elderly folk who have trouble keeping their lawn up? Can you get 3 people with a little extra time that like to ride your lawnmower together to help take care of their lawns? Should they get permission to? Can you run for school board to make sure that things are going well in your school? Can you afford to employ someone? Can you be an entrepreneur and start a business? Can you share cannabis with someone who's medically in need? All of these things are volunteerism. Can you share food? Do you raise your own meat? Do you have enough to give 10 pounds to the poor family on the other side of town? Do you take game, and can you do the same thing? Hey, that's a good point, Dylan. The only problem with Russia is that they kill their libertarians. There was a libertarian movement in Moscow at one point, and every last one of them just got disappeared.
Oh, that's great. I'm not going to Russia.
Yeah, right. Thankfully, we're not yet there.
Matt says the British memes are great.
British humor is always great.
Loving that.
I'm a fan of the Top Gear UK, the fancy sports car, supercar, hypercar, blow up caravans show from the UK. It's very funny, and it's fun. But again, think about your local community. What can you do? I bet if you look around, you'll find people doing these things. I bet in most communities, if you look around, you'll find a firehouse that has chicken barbecues to either support their needs or the needs of the individual. If there's a Boy Scout troop in the area, I bet there's a bottle drive. If you've got a high school in your area, I bet there's a car wash, maybe a junior carnival. These are all voluntary. These are all where we're putting in the effort to meet a need that we see in front of us. They don't all have to be as gloriously charitable as it seems to give someone a accessible van to get around with, and that is wonderful. It is gloriously charitable. I will give you that. But it can be groceries for the single mom. It can be a vacation for the hardworking parents. It can be anything. If people believe in the cause, they'll donate. And if they don't, they won't. And that's what's wonderful. All you have to do to know if people will support you in your cause is ask. Asking, though, takes marketing, and that's what these groups are doing. These groups are a voluntary, organic marketing firm. They're pointing the way. This is the way. And they're just showing people, look at these needs. Look at what we can do. Look what you can do with $5. And the average donation, I think, still runs around $25 through all of the fundraisers that have been done with these groups. Think about that. The average donation is $25. And we're raising hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's amazing. But that's what I have to say about that today, Robert. Be voluntary. Be a volunteer. Do charitable works. And support those in need in your community.
I completely 100% agree, and I 100% support you, Thomas, as well. You guys are amazing, and we'll wrap up. It's been 35 minutes. Great show. Thank you, Tom. You guys don't forget Wheelchair Bands, Liberty Memes fans. Wheelchair Bands from Liberty Memes fans. Scrolling across the bottom and also in the comments. Oh, one quick little thing here from Matt Lacey. They'll also play counting games in the donations.
Yes, they will. I want to point out again, I said it once earlier, every last member of this group is amazing. Every person helping these groups is amazing. You're doing the work. You're having fun. You're meeting the needs of people who have true needs. And you're all heroes in my book.
Thank you, Thomas.
You know what you did for me. You raised money for my van. Years ago, Libertarians raised money for my wheelchair. You were all heroes in my book.
You guys, I love you so much. We're going to wrap up. This is Inspire Nation. This was another weekly rundown with Thomas Queter, our favorite guy here. Thomas, you inspire me. I love you guys. Stay safe. Please volunteer your time. Love y'all.